Hey y'all! In this video, I'm going to be discussing time management and the 5 things that you can do to make it easier and how this single mom gets it all done. So stay tuned. Welcome to Single Parents Toolbox, and thank you again for watching my channel. For those of you that subscribed, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. So let's get started, shall we? As single parents, we've got to do everything, don't we? We have the kids to take care of, we've got work schedules, college schedules, we've got to prepare meals, cleaning, errands. I mean, it just goes on and on. And so, what's the biggest thing that you can do to help yourself make it easier? Proper time management. It's everything. And that's exactly why you're here, right? It's because of time management. So, the first thing that you can do to make easier time management is to use a calendar. Now, I know what you're thinking. I already use a calendar. Maybe use it for your appointments, but use it for everything in your life. Use it not only for the appointments for the children, use it for the visitations. When they have visitation with the other parent, make sure that you have that in there so that you don't forget. And make sure to have, the time and the location that you plan to meet that other parent at, especially if it changes occasionally. Make sure that you also obviously have your work schedule in there so that it's all nice and organized. Any assignments you need to do during college, definitely a good thing to have all in that time. In addition to this, it would be nice to be able to add things that you are going to do on that day for different chores. Say you decide to do dusting on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and then you decide to do the bathroom on certain days of the week. This is a really great way that you can not only keep your time management and stay organized, but it's a good way to keep up on your house, because if you don't keep up on it, it just gets to be super, super crazy. And I know this from experience. I can tell you, oh my word, if I do not even I have this normal routine, which we'll get up to that in a second, of, making sure that every single night I have my daughter pick up her toys, or sometimes I do them for her if she's too tired, and I make sure to vacuum the living room floor. So the next day when she's playing, the floor is already clean and ready to go. But the things that I really put in my calendar are not only my assignments and the days that those are due. I actually do the due dates a day ahead of time, just so that if I think that I'm running late on something, I have that extra day. So, and then I have reminders on, okay, this is the day that you're going to do your dusting. This is the day that you're going to do the bathroom. Things like that. So again, make sure that you use your calendar. And I love to use Google because not only is it free, but I don't have to worry about, okay, if I have to switch phones and all my other stuff's on the other calendar, I don't have to worry about editing on the other calendar. I can just have that account. It's on any time. I can even log onto my computer and be able to see it, or even print it off if I want to. And the real goal that you're after when you're using this calendar is to make sure that it has hour by hour of things that you need to get done. And you can see different gaps you have in your day. Many times we feel so busy, but we don't realize that in between different things that we have to do within our day that just feels like a lot of pressure, we actually have 2 hours in between, or 20 minutes here, 30 minutes here. I mean, usually we all say we're really busy, but we're missing those really great times in between that we could be doing something else or giving ourselves the chance to rest like we need to do. So this brings me to number 2. It is to make a normal schedule and routine. Now, this is back to my example of how every night I make sure that the kids' toys are put away and the floors are vacuumed. So that is a schedule and routine that I do for my house that works really, really well. And another thing that I do is I have my kids go to bed at a certain time. Now, for me personally, And of course, whatever you feel is best in your house, because it is your life and you want to make sure that like you can do everything possible, right? So in my household anyway, even though it sounds a little early, I usually, unless if it's like a night that I don't have to worry about my assignments, or that I want my daughter to sleep in, or it's during the vacation when my son doesn't have school, I usually on school nights have my daughter in at about 6:30 and my son in by about 7. The reason I do this is it gives Soraya a chance to adjust and realize that she needs to go to bed, and she should be asleep by about 7:30, 8 o'clock. She needs that time to realize, oh yeah, it's bedtime, and start kind of getting into that routine, all right? My son is in bed by 7 because he needs at least 12 hours of sleep. The bus goes really early, and honestly, this gives me some cushion time to be able to actually hit the books. And so then I have a tendency to, after they're laid down, I give myself about, whatever long one show is. I give myself one show to let them, realize, okay, it's bedtime. And this gives me the chance to just be like, ah, they're in bed. And I can just relax and be myself for a few minutes. And, when I get to that point, I'm able to start working on a to-do list and get ready for the next day. So this brings us to number 3, which is make sure that you kind of coordinate with your children's schedule on what you do. Now, when I say this, I don't mean that, like, okay, tell your boss that only during nap time you're able to work. I mean, that's not going to fly, right? And you can't really tell your teachers that, oh, sorry, class, yeah, do you have this option open? Usually most colleges don't have the option of, bringing your child with you or having you only go during their nap times. But, obviously, when your children are asleep, these are the times that you can focus. So this is why I use this time to actually hit the books. When I'm doing college, it's the only way that gets me through, because there is no way I can actually focus when my 2-year-old is running all over the house and making ruckus. There's just no way. Or my son's constantly needing my attention. So I make sure that I do my crucial study time during the time that they are asleep, and also during the time that my daughter takes her nap. So I make sure that she usually goes to bed at a certain time every time that she naps and every time that she goes to bed, so that like clockwork, she goes to sleep, I'm able to hit the books. And in between my study sessions, because they usually say to study for about 20 minutes and then, do something for about 5 so that your brain has time to process and cool down. So I will study for about 20 minutes, and then I will do some housework when I'm just starting to feel like, okay, I need a break. I'll do housework on my break times, because if I sit there and watch TV during my break times, there's no way I'm getting it done. I mean, also, I kind of sort of, like think of different videos that I want to do next, and I do Facebook, things like that. But I also try to make sure that I'm cleaning the house throughout the night so that it's ready to go the next day and it's more efficient. So that brings us to step number 4. Plan your to-do and shopping lists either the night before or a week in advance. Now, this helps you to properly plan. So you can think of, okay, maybe I need to make my car payment on this time of the month, so I need to make sure I enter that into my calendar. I need to go out and go do grocery shopping. I need to put that on my to-do list and make a shopping list in addition to that. I think you guys get the gist. So this is a really good thing to do. And then also what I really love to use in addition to this is I love to use Wunderlist, because, oh my word, it's free and it's amazing. It has changed my world. Okay, sorry. I'm excited about Wunderlist. I can't help it. I use it like all the time. And did I mention it's free? Oh, I want to say that again. Free. Oh, that's beautiful. I just love when things are free. Anyway, back to what we're talking about. Wunderlist is a great way to do your shopping list, and also you can add things back on. So let's say you need to go get milk, but then you purchased it and it goes on the things you've already gotten in the past. So you can just like tap on it and it comes back onto the things you need to get again when you need it again. And that's one amazing thing. Another thing is you can put multiple lists on it. So you can have a to-do list and a shopping list on the same exact app. And get this, you can share it with other people. So if you decide that you want to create a family on the Wunderlist and you have a roommate, or your cousin decides to move in with you, whatever, then you can just make sure that they're also added to the Wunderlist. And so if they happen to be at the store and they're like, okay, they don't have to call and be like, hey, I'm at the store, anything you need? You're like, yeah, we need milk. You don't have to worry about that because it's already on the list. So, and you can also see if you guys both happen to be, doing it at the same time or something, or doing it, the day before, you can like look back and be like, oh, we still need this. Okay, well, I got it. And you can see like just what all you guys really need and what you don't. So it's a really great thing to have. Also, like, I don't know if I mentioned this before or not, but another nice thing is that you can look at your to-do list and then you can click back to your calendar and be like, okay, so I know I need to do this within this week. So what are the times that are going to be best for me to do this? How long is this task going to take? And then you can like coordinate that with your calendar. So it's a really great way to get organized and get everything done. This brings us to step number 5, is meal prep. Okay, so you know that on maybe Friday, we're just going to use Friday as an example because it's a fun day, right? Friday. Okay, so Friday, you have all these crazy things to do. You have the weekend planned ahead, and you're like, oh, Friday's going to be super busy. So you already have this idea of everything you've got to get done. So if you magically planned ahead of time and you made a crock pot meal for supper because you're not going to be back till about 6 o'clock, and you plan to pack a lunch for you and the kids to go the next morning and you put it in the fridge the night before, maybe you pack some nicely sliced veggies in there for them, some baby carrots, maybe pack some wheat crackers, you plan to put that the next day so they don't get mushy. I mean, whatever you decide to do. And then you can actually just carry that with you, carry the water bottles, the diaper bag, grab the kids, and you're set to go, right? It's amazing. And then, not only that, but you've already planned the crock pot meal, so when you get back home, you literally have to just dish up the kids' meals, have them go shower, brush their teeth, and get them to bed and relax. So that is amazing. And the really great thing is, like with peppers, you can actually like slice them up and put them into baggies. Same with broccoli, cauliflower, I mean, you name it. Cucumbers could get a little mushy eventually, so if you're going to do it with that, I recommend you eat them within the next day or two, give or take, just a suggestion. But that's what I would do anyway. You do what you want. So, yeah, that is just something, I mean, what I'm trying to say with all of that is just kind of choreograph like accordingly. And sometimes it takes experimentation too. One thing that I learned that is great with meal prep is instead of like buying actual pork chops, I'll buy a huge like pork loin. In fact, I learned this from somebody very recently. I never thought about it, but yeah, if you get a big pork loin, you're able to get like easily 4 to 6 meals out of that thing. You can chop it up into pork chops, you can chop it up into bits and pieces so that you can just throw it into a stir fry. I mean, you can do just about anything with it. It's really incredible. And when you go to like Fairway or something, you can ask them to individually wrap like each pound of hamburgers so that you can only have to take out 1 pound at a time. I mean, it just goes on. And it's amazing. Like, when you think about how much easier life could be with meal prep instead of like getting your kids Lunchables really quick because you're crazy busy, which is probably going to still happen. But I mean, with this, like, it happens a lot less because you're all ready to go and you prepared everything. Um, so, yeah, that is how I get everything done. And I honestly can't do it without it. So I'm going to wrap up by giving you all these 5 things again. And then I would like to tell you guys some things um, that I would like you guys to know. So let's review. First thing is to make sure that you have a calendar. Okay? And for everything. Don't forget to put everything in that Google Calendar or whatever calendar you decide to use. The second thing is to make sure you have a schedule and routine and make sure to practice that. It's going to take time, but I mean, if you practice, it'll eventually come perfect and you can tweak things along the way. And there's going to be big events that you're going to have to decide on an alternative schedule for. I mean, school does it. Why can't you, right? They've got day A and B and anyway. Number 3 is to plan things around your children's schedule. I mean, if you keep picking up toys like every single so many minutes, you're going to go crazy. But if you wait until they're about ready to go to bed and then pick them up, it'll be so much easier and you'll get so much more done around your house and not feel like all you do is clean all day. Step number 4 is to make sure that you make your to-do and shopping lists a night or a week ahead of time so that you can also choreograph with your calendar and figure everything out. Step number 5 is meal prep. It is crucial, and all these things go perfectly with each other and they really help each other out. I mean, I can't even say what the foundation is. I mean, maybe the schedule and routine, maybe the calendar, I don't know, but they just all make this perfect harmony of great time management. And without it, there's just, I don't know how we manage. So, thank you again for watching Single Parents Toolbox, and I really appreciate it. If you have not subscribed already, please definitely do that. And don't forget to click the little bell icon so that you know when my next video comes out. And thank you so much for your guys' patience. I know that I've been really bad about making sure I do everything. I'm getting better. I figured out a way to plan different videos ahead and record ahead and take, more time to actually upload them onto YouTube because it might not be as easy as it seems all the time. Also, I just want to kind of touch base and remind you guys that, just keep in mind, please, that I'm also a single parent and I've got all these crazy things to do as well. And so, yeah, time management comes in huge, but I haven't been perfect at it when it comes to doing this awesome YouTube channel. And I'm also still figuring a lot of things out. For example, my intros. So in my last video on the potty training, I didn't realize it at the time, but when I went back and watched it and I got some critiquing from some awesome friends of mine, I learned that I was trying to sound like, hey, go ahead and I'll always wait for you because all you have to do is pause me. So feel free to, do whatever because I knew it was like an 18-minute video and I was trying to think of a really cool intro so that, I can keep your guys' attention so that you guys can hear everything that I've got to say because I feel like I've got all this awesome advice because I've been a single parent for so many years, both during the times that I've separated from my ex-husband and all the years that I've been divorced now. And I feel like all these years took so much learning and practice. And if I could save other people from that, that would be so amazing. And honestly, I'm passionate about that. I just hope that I get better at the editing. So please be patient with that as well. I am working on it. I am going to need to get some more or some different tools and stuff like that. I have purchased a GoPro camera, which is awesome and amazing, and it's really helped, but I mean, there's still a lot of things that are out of date that I'm trying to work on, and it takes money to do that. So it's just gonna take a little time. Just be patient with me. And thank you again so much for watching. So, ciao, babies.